¿Qué onda? And welcome back to the channel. My name is David. Today we're back in downtown LA with my buddy Manny doing some POV street photography. I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. I'm trying to change it up a little bit so it is kind of giving you an establishing sense of like where we're at as far as locations concerned. So I try to do something a little different this time around. Let me know what you guys thought. I definitely want to play around with that idea. I actually had the idea quite a while back where I was actually telling my friend Darren about it, where I wanted to kind of give it a establishing sense like in GoldenEye 64, where the game would open up and it would give you a wide shot of a particular like point of interest in the level or the mission, and then it would cut to James Bond, and then like, you know, the camera would zoom into him, and then like you could see what he sees. Kind of like that. That's what inspired it. So yeah, I'm going a little nerdy, but that's okay. Video games are awesome and nerds are cool. But yeah, that's kind of like what my mindset was with that. I'm gonna play around with it. I really like it. I like the sound effects and everything I threw in there as well. Sound effects is something I've been trying to play with a lot more. Obviously, this series of videos that I've been making has the shutter click, so I think that's something I could kind of elaborate on a little bit more. But anyways, tangent aside, we're doing some POV street photography, and a couple of things actually. I sold my 16-55 lens. I know that lens was amazing, but I didn't really use it as much as I really intended to, especially because I have a 24-70 for Canon. It was kind of redundant to own the same lens or same focal length for Fuji. And number two, I primarily gravitate more towards the 35 f2 and the 90mm because their prime lenses are a little easier to handle one-handed. More so the 35 because of how small it is. And also, I just finished the Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. If you guys have not read or listened to the audiobook of that book, I highly recommend it. Really changed my outlook on how I'm approaching my finances. So I sold that, and I actually have that money in savings right now as my emergency fund, just in case Murphy comes over. And if you guys actually read the book, he talks about who Murphy is. But yeah, so that's kind of like why I sold it. And so yeah, now I have two lenses for both my Canon kit and my Fuji kit, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not in a rush right now to go out and buy more stuff. I'm kind of just chilling right now, especially because I do want to get the RF 70-200 2.8 at some point, but only if I start booking stuff like weddings and events again, which I'm assuming they might start happening again sometime in the summer here, at least in the United States, now that more people have been vaccinated. So it's just a matter of time, I think, before we start seeing them kind of come back full force. So if I start booking a lot of those gigs where I might need one, then yeah, I'll probably pull the trigger on it. But for the time being, I'm not really in a rush. Like, I'm happy with the 24-70 and the 50mm. 24mm, it does feel a little tight for vlogging, but you know, it's a good range. 24-70 kind of covers all my ranges, and the 50 is really good for portraits and for B-roll and all that good stuff. And yeah, I don't really know what my third lens is going to be for my Canon kit. I'm kind of leaning more towards the 100mm macro because I do product photography, but I kind of want to have something that like the way I approach building my kit, I want to have something that always covers me for photo and video. So like 24-70 is a good run and gun lens because it has IS. It's a 2.8, and it's fantastic for photos as well. The 50mm is really good for tight B-roll shots, for you know, if I'm doing interviews, you know, just lock it off on a tripod. It's fantastic for portraits. So ideally, I want my third lens to kind of cover my bases for photo and video. So 70-200 would also equally be as good for B-roll, for video and stuff like that, and for photo. but again, I don't know what that third lens will be. Maybe I'll get a 15-35 because I do eventually plan to get a C70 because I want to start shooting more documentaries. And that one is one of Canon's, I think, least expensive, and I'm doing air quotes because 6500 isn't cheap. Least expensive cameras that is approved for Netflix, and my goal one day is to have a documentary on Netflix because that would be amazing. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at as far as my headspace with gear. I've definitely kind of slimmed down the equipment, and I'm really happy because now I don't have to think twice about like, fuck, what camera am I gonna pack today, or what lens am I gonna pack. I was like, no, like, and that's kind of like why I'm happy I downsized the Fuji kit a little bit, because it's like 35 is typically my wide angle, even though it's not really a wide angle, it's more of a normal lens, but still for street it's pretty wide. And then if I want something tighter, the 90mm is just too good. I was gonna sell it and then pocket the difference, pocket some of the money and then buy the 50mm f2, so that way I have a 50mm equivalent and a 75mm equivalent. But I decided to keep it just because 135mm for street photography is fantastic, and you don't really see that too often. I think the only photographer that comes to mind was, I think, Saul Leiter. He's an old film photographer, fantastic guy. Go check out his work. Unfortunately, he long since has passed away, but I think I remember reading somewhere that he used to shoot primarily on like 135mm because he really liked to fill the frame and get those really tight shots. And what kind of made him famous was that he would buy expired film, or film that was like incorrectly processed or bleached or whatever. I'm not too familiar with the processing on film, so take this information with a grain of salt. But buying this messed up film actually yielded him some really cool results, and he got some really fantastic colors, and so that kind of was what made him stand out. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, there's just so many photographers from back in the day that I still want to learn more about, because I'm as far as street photography, I feel like I'm still more or less finding my style. Like, I have a sense of the colors I want, but I don't feel like I have a particular style yet. If you look at my product photography, I typically go more for the moody wood tones, earth tones, browns, oranges, blacks. I'm starting to mix gray in more, so kind of like all that, and then I kind of like to make the colors a little muted, just because it kind of adds more to the mood. But typically that's my preferred style for product photography. It just looks freaking amazing, especially when you hit it with the light the right way. So yeah, still figuring things out for street photography, but that's photography. You never stop learning. You're always learning to change your style, to adapt and grow, and I think that's what's fascinating. And also, I just realized I'm not really talking much about my photos in like my most recent videos. It's more about just kind of like me rambling and kind of just having a conversation with you guys, because it's always fun to do these kind of videos where, yeah, I'll describe some photos with you guys, but I kind of just like to talk to you guys and kind of give you my point of view on a lot of things. But quick thing, I actually trimmed this portion of the video down because I actually waited about 5 minutes for somebody to walk into the frame. But I'm so happy I waited, because I got this shot and I think it just looks fantastic with the way the lighting was hitting and the shadows and everything. When Manny and I went to downtown LA, I think this was around like 10 o'clock now in the morning, and so there was some harsh light, so we definitely played around a lot with light and shadows. I feel like I got some pretty good results. I'm also starting to get more comfortable shooting in brighter environments, just because we're starting to get to spring here in California, and not a lot of overcast days like in previous videos. And also, I kind of changed my colors a little bit, so I have something I could actually shoot during bright environments. I kind of am going more for a muted look for my street photos. That way, when I have the shadows and everything kind of like lifted, it softens up the image, so it's not like the lighting isn't as harsh. Like this one, for example, you know, is a perfect example of harsh lighting in the background with the bright orange building, because there was no clouds today or at the time of the shooting of this video. And also, we finally went inside the farmers market that we always walk by, because apparently they're not they're cool with the people just walking in with cameras. So, and I think also because they were so small, you know, Manny's got he just recently upgraded to the 100V. And I mean, that thing looks like an old school film camera, and my Fuji's just tiny as fuck as well. So yeah, like they didn't really say anything, but you know, not a whole lot of good pictures in there. It's just mostly people shopping. I feel like I get better shots in that kind of environment with a tighter lens like the 90mm, but I didn't bring it. Also, I still haven't gone to the last bookstore because it's always closed when I go by on Sundays. I mean, I should probably go during the week, but free parking, I kind of elaborate that in my vlog. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying these vlogs. I'm trying to vlog more when I go out with friends. That way I have 2 videos, because I'd like to do 2 videos a week. And I'm not at the level where I feel comfortable doing tutorials, because I feel like I still am figuring things out when it comes to like street photography, so I don't really feel qualified to talk too much about it. I could talk about stuff like product photography, so if you guys want to do if you guys do want to see like product photography tutorial videos, comment down below, let me know what you guys think, because I do want to have a bit more diverse content as far as like vlogs and POV street photography, and maybe like tutorials at some point. But yeah, little by little, still trying to figure things out. And that's the thing with this channel. It's like I just try to be very upfront with everybody. It's like, yeah, I've been doing this for several years now. When it comes to photography for video, I'm still learning as I go. I've only, I think, have about 2 years of experience shooting video versus my like 8 years of photography. But you know, it's still a learning process, and I don't like to come off as somebody that like, oh yeah, I know everything because I'm a YouTuber or I'm an influencer, so I have to present myself as the like know-it-all person, photographer, whatever you want to call me. Just because, you know, I feel like if it kind of boils down to that whole mindset of like fake it till you make it, and then that's something I think is it's a stupid motto, because you're just bullshitting, and bullshit never really gets you anywhere. And being upfront with people, I think, will go much further than you know, being dishonest and kind of pretending to know stuff that you don't know. Because once somebody calls you out on something and you can't back it up, GG, man, that's it. Your reputation's done. Just like this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys found this video entertaining, helpful, or useful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. If you did not like this video, or just don't like it when I say the word fuck, double tap the thumbs down button twice. It works, trust me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And remember, be badass. Peace.
Morning. Got any good shots?
Let's hope so.
What are you rocking today?
M10.
Nice. We got a Fuji.
The poor man's like
both
that.
of those. Is that the X-Pro2?
Pro2. I didn't like the 3 because of the screen.
Without screen?
That's the Q2?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
No, this is the M10 model.
Oh, okay. I was
okay.
gonna say, it kind of almost look like the Q2 from the top.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
love those cameras.
Yeah, dude, they're so much fun. Like I shoot Canon for my professional stuff, but it's just Fuji just got the fun factor down on this, and I kind of wish more manufacturers did it. Obviously, Leica did it, but you know, it's a little pricey. So
Yeah, it's true.
But
I shoot both of these.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it just depends on what I want to shoot today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Fuji.
Fuji is so
it never
good.
fails you. That's the one thing.
Yeah, it's super reliable. Like I've taken this out in the rain like a couple weeks back when it was pouring.
Yep.
With the 90mm, it's fully weather sealed. Had no issues.
And
Yeah, it's so much fun.
And that, you know, that particular, the X-Pros just fit my hand.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to beat, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're light, they're, like you said, they're reliable as hell. So, yeah, you all have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Leica user.